Welcome everybody, and special welcome to Aaron Walker, aka Big A.
Come on, Big A.
So first of all, it's an honor for me to have you on the show. I feel really blessed to have you on, and let's start off with getting to know you a bit better. Tell us all about yourself, please.
Well, hey, man, thanks for having me on. First of all, you talking about an honor. It's an honor to be with you today, Klaus. I appreciate it, man. Listen, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a small business owner, 40 years entrepreneur now. Started my first business at 18. Sold out when I was 27 to a Fortune 500. I thought I was done, so I took a break about 18 months, and I got fat and lazy. Robin woke me up from a nap one day, and she said, "Hey, I didn't sign up for you to lay around in bed all day. You need to go get a job." So I went back and gained 50 pounds during that 18 months. I mean, like I wasn't doing anything. And she said, "You got to get yourself back in shape." Bought another company, and we grew it 4 times the size it was over the next 10 years. Things were amazing. My life was just unbelievable. 2 beautiful daughters, and my business was great until August 1st, 2001. I was headed to the office, kind of a normal day. Everything was good. And a guy didn't look my way and walked out in front of me. And Klaus, I ran over and killed a pedestrian August 1st, 2001. And man, you talking about your life coming to a screeching halt. Mine did. So anyway, I sold the business. Took me about 5 years to work through that. It was a very devastating thing to our family. Robin woke me up from another nap 5 years later. She said, "You're getting fat and lazy again. It's time to go back to work." So I went into the construction business. We built a very successful construction company. About 8 years ago, I retired when I was 50 years old. Robin said I've retired more than the law allows. And a couple of guys in my mastermind group like Dan Miller and Ken Abraham and Dave Ramsey and some of those guys said, "What are you going to do now?" And I said, "I'm going to go down to the Caribbean. I'm going to set my hind end in a tiki hut, and I'm going to drink iced tea until I die." And Dan Miller said, "That's the most selfish thing I've ever heard you say." He said, "You need to coach." And I said, "I'm not coaching anybody." He said, "Come on, Big A, you got to coach." So I started coaching about 5 years ago. And now, Klaus, I look back and think, my goodness, how awesome has it been? We've got 120 guys from 8 different countries across the world, and I get to interact with those guys every day. So, man, I'm living the dream right now, helping guys become extraordinary in all they do.
That's awesome. That's awesome, and I can't wait to get my hands on your book, by the way. So let's talk about that a little bit later. I was just wondering because I heard Meiji call you Big A. I call you Big A because you call yourself Big A. Why the nickname? Why the Big A?
You know, when I was 13 years old, a guy that I worked for, his name's Herb Berry. He owned the company that I worked for. And, of course, my name is Aaron, Aaron. And so I walked in the office one day, and he looked at me, and he said, "Hey, Big A." And it is just stuck. And so my grandkids even call me Big A. I've got 5 grandchildren, and one of my grandsons the other day, I went up to him. He's 8 years old, and I said, "Hey, what's my name?" And he looked at me kind of funny, and he said, "Big A." And I said, "No, what's my name?" And he goes, "Well, Big A's your name." And I said, "My real name." And he had to think a minute. So everybody that's family and friends has been around me any length of time at all, I'm just known as Big A. And that's how it stuck.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I'm just wondering for people that have been with us and people that later on are going to see these messages, if they have any questions or if they like to follow you, get to know you even more,
Thank you.
How can they find you? How can they get in touch with you?
Thank you. Well, I appreciate that, Klaus. Thank you. It's been a real delight for me to be with you today. Thank you for the invitation. You can reach out to viewfromthetop.com, and all of our social media platforms are there. But let me tell you where our strength is. Our strength is in masterminds. And I've been in a mastermind group now every week for 20 years with groups, and it's been absolutely radically life transformational to have, like your own board of directors, have people every single week that you can count on being there, listening, encouraging you on, helping you, and covering these accountability issues in your life. Listen, we can't do it alone. I'm just telling you, you cannot be all you were intended to be alone. And so I really want the men to consider these mastermind groups, because nothing against women. It's just our niche market is men. That's what I've elected, to help them be a better person in personal development, be a better husband, a better dad, a better business person. That's what we want. We want to iron sharpens iron. As one man sharpens another, just as iron sharpens iron. That's what we're about. We're about letting sparks fly because we want you to be all you were intended to be. So if you'll just go to viewfromthetop.com, you're able to get all of our contact information. My phone number's there. My email is there. Facebook, everything's there. And I'd love to have a conversation with you.
Great. Well, thanks for that.
Hey, go get a copy of my book too. Go get a copy of the book, View from the Top. You can get it on Amazon. The Audible is on there. The Kindle version is there. Reach out to me if you want an autographed copy, and I'll be glad to sign it and send it to you. Man, I'm telling you, in this book, we cover everything. You're talking about raw and transparent. I don't hold anything back in this book, and I think it can help take your life to that next level.
Great. I'm so happy that you brought that up before the end, because that's one thing that I wanted to know a little bit more about from you. And as soon as possible, I'm going to reach out to you because I definitely want to sign. I want a signed copy.
Awesome. I'd love to send it to you, Klaus.
Great. Thanks again. So thanks again for being on. I have a couple of more questions that hopefully, who knows, maybe in some months or a year or so we can get back together and we can talk more about those topics.
Let's reconvene, man. I'd love to come back on your show. You're a great host, and I know you've got a great audience. So I'd love an invitation to come back, and we'll have another discussion.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks again. And
all right, buddy.
I'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
All right. See you, man.